Right. Sorry. Posture again. Get this posture thing down. Okay. Do we look natural?
Can you close your blinds a little bit?
Yes. See?
Alex's blinds are always at the perfect angle. Victor,
Of course. Of course.
well, you're good.
That is kind of Victor's routine of like open blinds and I leave for the day. And it's like, okay, I guess I'll go close your blind.
Oh, you do it for me? Cool.
Yeah, or Amanda, or Mike, or anyone else but
Well,
you.
you are enabling me, so it's your own fault. That's my trick. Get other people to do your work for you. Yes.
Is that what you learned in all your years of education?
That's all it is. How to trick people. They call it like influencing without authority and that kind of crap. But
So this is episode 4.1 that's labeled in our...
episode 4.
I know,
Episode 5.
It is 5. But
Dang, 5 in. All right. Nice. All right. Welcome, everyone, to the Live Fully podcast. I almost said
and
Etha again.
YouTube
and
channel.
Yes. Live Fully podcast.
And
episode 5. And YouTube channel. That's right. Episode 5. All right. So how'd you guys do? How you guys doing? How was your weekend? What's today? Wednesday?
Wednesday. It's already Wednesday. That's crazy.
Okay. Wow. It's been an exciting week for us, actually. All right.
Yep.
Launched Etha Natural Medicine this week.
It's been launched. It's good.
Been launched. Whew, long time coming.
Now it's the work sets in to actually like build awareness, get the product out the door, scale, grow. So, yeah.
Geez. Do we have to do all that? Can someone do it for us?
Yeah, you can always pay something. Pay people to do stuff, and you got to pay them to do it.
Oh, you need money for that.
Yeah.
So anyway, so for everyone that's listening or watching, we are live now with ethalivefully.com, Etha Natural Medicine, where you can get the very best kratom and other botanicals soon.
Best based on our opinion, which is always
Best,
good.
right? Best,
Our super
because
important
we
opinion.
said so.
Yes.
Now we do a lot to make sure it is definitely the best. From lab testing, we do our own lab testing here. Yeah. Yes, our Etha does. Yes, and third-party testing. Amazing form and tablets. We did that whole.
Etha does a lot of great stuff.
Yep. So, yeah, that's what makes it the best. So, anyway, that's this week. Besides that, what did you do? Anything fun?
Geez, I don't know. It's always that the life of an entrepreneur. It's always, what did you do this weekend? It's like, oh, I guess it was a weekend, right? Or, okay, what day and what? Everything kind of blends together, and that's always that kind of startle. Like, what did I do? Oh, right, I did some stuff.
Yeah, you always have. Yeah, you have to actually work at separating out, work from your personal life.
Yeah, because it blends. Everything blends.
It's too easy to
much.
blend.
It's constantly. Yep.
A Saturday is no different than a Thursday, unless you make it different. Right?
I don't know. What did I do? Oh, I did a massive cheat day, which was awesome on Saturday.
You did.
What did you have?
Massive cheat
Oh
day.
my God.
So I made the best version of French toast I have ever made so far,
That's
and it
straight
was
up.
incredible. It was so good. So normally, I've tried making French toast in the past, and I've always not been happy with it. So it's either been I get some egg in the bread, but then there's just clearly bread in the middle. I'm like, well, okay, I wanted French toast, not just some egg on my bread. Or other times I'll get it completely soaked in egg, but then the outside is burned black to a crisp, and the inside is still liquid egg. So I'm like, okay, well, this is not French toast either. This is just awful. So this weekend I attempted and successfully made sous vide deep fried French toast.
This thing took forever. I had
It was
a
awesome.
breakfast, a lunch before the stuff was
good.
actually done.
It was so good. So super thick bread, either brioche bread, or then I also used some nice what's the sweet bread, the Hawaiian
bread, yeah.
So 2 versions, nice and thick, completely soaked with egg, fully on soak. Let it sit there for a good 10 minutes, nice liquidy batter, and then put it inside plastic bag, and it goes into a sous vide for about 50 minutes to an hour. And so what you do, the cool thing about sous vide is that it's Sous vide is a water bath. So it's been around, like French culinary artists invented this long time ago. And basically the idea is that cooking is all about temperature and time, and then those kind of variations give you very different effects. So the idea of sous vide is that you really want, like, eggs are very delicate, right? You want to get to
food cooking is what this
certain
is.
temperature. Yeah, so it's like, I don't know, I think it was like 137 degrees Fahrenheit, like perfect, like, and that's what it just maintains it to a 10th of a degree of accuracy. And so that's what you want to create, like this like custardy thickness, right? You don't want to overcook eggs, and you don't want to undercook them.
The egg soaks in water?
No,
soaks
in a bag that you then...
Oh, in a bag.
In a sealed bag,
In a sealed bag. So yeah, so basically like you put it in a bag, seal it, get all the air out of it. So it's just the bread and the egg mixture in a bag, isolated from the water. Goes into this perfect temperature water bath for an hour. And so it basically cooks the egg to that perfect, like, custard-like consistency. And so take it out, and so the French toast is, well, it's kind of just like French, I don't know, bread pudding almost this time, because it's a nice consistency, that custardy flavor. And then take that out and like cut it into like little strips, and then kind of flash fried it in some vegetable oil and butter mixture. So my goal was to essentially try to mimic Burger King's French toast sticks.
Shout out to Burger King.
Burger King, yes, my favorite, because they're like super crispy outside. You like crunch through it, but it's like a delicate crunch, and then the inside
These
just
were
this nice,
like, way better. Like,
so
they're
good.
not even like a fair compare.
I've never even known that Burger King sells French toast.
French toast sticks.
Because I
So good.
cannot eat Burger King. I will throw up if I do. I don't know what it is about their food. But second of all, French toast is my favorite breakfast food, aside from Eggs Benedict.
I'm tell you what.
Oh.
So if you wanted to bring some in one day, wouldn't it be a bonus?
All right, we will. I will happily figure out a way to bring it.
I'm like, how do you do that?
We have to like schedule like an offsite or something,
Yeah.
like at the kitchen around.
All right.
We'll just have a meeting.
Yes.
In the kitchen.
Yes, that'd be good. That'd be perfect.
So we're podcast there.
So I'm like opposite of you. I don't like French toast. I never liked it. And I realized it's because I've never had good French toast. I've always had just bad French toast. But
And maple flavored whip cream on top.
holy donkeys! I'm telling you, it was
so good.
like okay.
So are
all
you
right.
French toast?
All right, like everyone.
Way?
So people make fun of. At least I get it from Lisa and others like that. Alex and I spend a lot of time together, and we're becoming like one and the same. And
True.
I disagree with that 1,000,000%. Him and I are opposites in so many ways, and cooking is a fine example of this. My cooking style is screw recipes, screw any type of order, procedures. I feel while I cook, and I try to adjust on the fly, and that's how I cook, right? And I make do with whatever it is, and it comes out amazing. Boom. but he does it like in precision, and of course he has like the sous vide version of French. I'm like, are you shitting me? Like down to the 10th of degree temperature and all this, but you know what?
Sometimes it's worth it.
By far, I'm telling you,
French toast is
I'm
awesome.
telling you, it was amazing. I had eaten 2 meals already, and I still dove into those things. I was just because it was phenomenal, man. It's phenomenal, dude. So, yeah, you gotta have some of this stuff.
Well, I still need to try Alex's cookies or pies or whatever you.
Oh yeah,
and
okay.
I still need
Yeah.
to try
Yep.
this French toast.
Oh
Yeah. I also made a pecan pie, which did not come out. I keep
You
like
ate all this on Saturday for your cheat day?
Yeah.
and
You went
pecan pie.
full
Yeah,
on.
pecan pie was well. I really like pecan pie. I've made one really well when I was back in Chicago over Thanksgiving, and then this is my second attempt doing it here, and I keep like messing up like one little part of it. So the first time I kind of put too much walnut in it, and then the cooking temperature wasn't quite good enough, so I didn't quite cook it all the way through, and it's one of those little like nuances. So I'll
And we
attempt
still
that
eat
one
it.
again. Yeah, it's still like
really,
it's still pecans and
Still
sugar,
good.
so it's still like I don't know. It tastes kind of good
Yeah,
still.
with ice cream too. Oh my god,
So
good.
Yeah,
Yeah, I made a declaration right when I bit into it. I was like, "This is the best thing you've ever made." And then I quickly remembered like, "Oh shit, never mind. Those cookies are phenomenal too." And I'm like, it's like a toss up between the cookies and the French toast now. And yeah, it was
All right, so that needs to happen like stats.
Yep.
When
All
you're
right.
bringing those in.
boom.
2 weeks from now.
2 weeks from now. Is that your? How often are you doing cheat days?
I don't know. Like
Whoa,
it's been every other week right now.
Well, how are you gonna call him out when you had a cheat day on Saturday and you had a cheat day yesterday? That was
no, he wants me to do more.
I want more cheat days.
Yeah, he's like, wait, you're not doing enough cheat days. I'm like, I'm not doing enough.
Calling him out for wanting another
No, because I benefit.
I've been doing my cheat day has been kind of every other week.
Yeah. Mine's every other day.
Yeah, yours every other day.
Whatever. I don't do a full day. I'll have whatever. It doesn't matter. Our goal really is to meet in the middle in our weight. So, so I started this whole thing off at about 190 to 95. That was my weight, and then you were at 142.
I was 150, but then dropped really fast to 144 and a half. Mm-hmm. Now I'm back up to 150. So
you're trying to gain weight.
Yeah, I'm trying to gain weight. Mm-hmm.
So I got down to 174, 72 now. So we're trying to get to 165.
Yeah, somewhere there. I'll get 165.
All right, we'll meet in the middle.
There.
All right.
Yep,
see who gets there first.
Mm-hmm. So you get to the middle.
You're just cheat day every day. So I'm starving myself. Anyway. Yeah, so that's what we did. Oh, actually, we did? We shot our commercial for Etha.
Yeah, we got into some videography over the weekend.
Yeah,
so.
that was fun.
We did. That was a lot. It's one of those things. It's so cool seeing production of a video or a commercial come out, because we do all these different scenes and settings, and it's kind of we're just in the Balboa Park doing this stuff, but. Mm-hmm. Then when you see it on camera, you're like, oh my god,
it looks phenomenal.
That's amazing.
I don't remember it being that way at all.
Yeah,
so, it's just another day at the park.
You have the right aperture set, the right focal plane, stuff in the background you don't want to see is kind of blurred out a little bit. As you focus on the subject, you're like, oh, looks super. And by that it's because we had Mike Regala, a good friend who is amazing.
Michael
director
Regala.
of photography. He's getting into videography, and
he's
absolutely amazing.
So if you're in San Diego area and you need
Films, I believe is what he's going to call his company.
Yeah.
So
he's been doing it forever, but finally making a company out of it.
Yeah, which is cool.
He does phenomenal work. So you're in San Diego, you need some photos, you need some videos, you need some creative direction whatsoever. That's the guy. You and I didn't have to do much that day. He gave us clear direction on what to do. And every time I said anything, I felt like I was just messing things up. I was like, you know what I should do? I should probably look up. And he's like, look away. Stick to the script. I'm like, all right, fine. Got it. So, it was great. He even made me look like I love my son when I picked him up. And so he does miracles. No. Anyway. And so we'll listen to this years from now. And it was fun. It was actually really enjoyable. So can't wait to see the final product. So anyway.
Cool. All right.
Should we? Let's jump into this, or
let's jump into some facts and myths.
Facts and myths.
Yeah. So what is I started off last week with some of our myths.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have some good myths for us this week?
Yeah, I was thinking about talking about different strains of kratom.
Okay, so strains like Mangda, Bali, Borneo, Hornleaf.
Yeah, red, green, yellow, white, every other color on the sun.
Yellow Vietnam, there's all sorts of strains, right?
Yeah.
Air quotes on strains for people that are listening and not watching the video, because...
Yeah, exactly. We're definitely air quoting our strains. Yeah, so what we, much like anyone that gets into kratom, you go online, you Google it, you try to find out as much as you can, and it's just a ton of information on different strains. And we bought every single
information
kind.
But non-information, right? Yeah. It's you start reading through all these strains, you're like, well, they all kind of sound like the same. Or what is going on?
Or they contradict each other.
Yeah.
This thing gives me energy, but this thing sedates me. This thing at high doses does this, and low doses does that, and then everyone starts to
in a different website says one thing or another, and there's all consistency in that information when you're trying to do research is okay, now I'm even more confused because this website said one thing and go over here and says a different thing.
Yeah, I put together an Excel spreadsheet to put down every strain and what was the source, the results, the effects, dosage, all of that.
And by Borneo wasn't great at all. It didn't work for me, but Malay was fantastic. It was so trying to go to that side, right?
And of course, obviously, your own personal chemistry and biology impacts how anything reacts. So there's some of that goes into play. But anyway, what we discovered, though, the great thing was we have the opportunity to actually go out and meet and build relationships with suppliers. So with harvesters, with farmers. And so Kendra and I spent a lot of time with different farmers and harvesters, and we got all kinds of samples from everybody. We'd always ask for, just send us everything you have. We'd get a shipment in here with 20 different packs of different variations of colors and names and all of that. And once we built a good relationship with them, the veil of misinformation was lifted, and we discovered that in reality there's only one kratom. There's one kratom.
Metraginous speciosa.
That's it. Just kratom. The harvesters and the farmers finally said, we label it different because that's what consumers want. They want choice, they want variety, so we put that out there. But in fact, we supply one kratom, and that's it. Now, we pick it at different times, and so yes, you can have red and green and maybe white, a younger leaf. So you have some of that variation, and you can have variation from region or different countries that can play into it a bit. Yeah, climate and all that obviously plays it. It's a plant, so that's true. But to say that there are 20 different variations of kratom is just false. And I could not believe. And so we said, okay, thanks for telling us that. That's wonderful. Yep. But who cares what you tell me? Because a liar telling me something, I'm going to say you're still lying to me, right? So we do testing.
Yep.
And so
easiest example is going to be green vein, say green vein Malay or green vein Sumatra from the region. And then there is also typically advertised a horn variety. And so, yes, the leaves look different. So a normal kratom has kind of like a nice rounded shaped leaf. A horn leaf will have that same overall round, but then there's kind of a little jagged coming off it, almost like an oak tree leaf. It's kind of a good example.
You can insert pictures into the
yeah, we'll put pictures for everybody to see it.
And so it's like, oh, okay, well, that was kind of the one thing. It was like, oh, cool. So when we first saw that talking to farmers, it was like, oh, that must definitely be a different strain.
Physically looks
different.
The
leaves are way different. And it's like,
and they charge a premium, by the way. Most places will charge a premium for horned leaves. So you're like, wow, they must be better.
Talking to our harvester, they actually came from the exact same tree. So the same tree will produce horn leaves and not horn leaves. And when we do testing on horn leaves and not horn leaves, when it's from the same tree, that same region, alkaloid profile is exactly identical.
No difference.
At least within testing margin and kind of some natural variability in that testing side, but no difference. So
it's the same.
Myth about kratom, strains do not exist.
No, not at all.
There are definitely varieties as far as where it grows, and there are conditions that seem to influence it, but to say it's a strain is just not true. So there's definitely other metrics to try and chase down to figure out how to get the alkaloid profiles we want. And so that's what we do. We have the farmers pick the red vein leaves or the overall red leaves. We have them pick green leaves. We do testing on those different batches, see the alkaloid profiles, and then combine them to get the total spectrum that works for the pain, the anxiety, and the depression that we're treating for ourselves.
And that's where the blend for ETHA came about, with you guys doing this testing.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, so people ask us, what's the difference? What's the difference between sunrise and sunset blends? And why do you guys even do a blend in the first place? And this is why.
Yeah, the blends are there because it's about the consistency of the product coming to the customer is the end result. And so we can't do that consistency just by trying to select a variety, because those varieties or those strains don't exist. So we do it by testing, understanding what's actually going on, and then creating the consistency through the blend.
So, the harvest of kratom can vary. Seasonality will change it too. So rather than try to, and we are working with them to improve and make more consistent harvest, right? But in the meantime, we are not held up by it. So we get those leaves, we test it, we know exactly alkaloids in there. Well, we need these kind of alkaloids to produce things that are great for, for energy. So pain relief, number one, obviously. but then you get, a little bit of, euphoria and energy and uplift. Well, there are alkaloids that produce those kind of results that are better. And so we isolate down, we get those leaves, we blend it, and lo and behold, you get sunrise blend. And the same for sunset. You need something that will calm you down a little bit, reduce some anxiety, just help you relax and focus, and just calm down a bit. And we have kratom that matches that. So, and we call it sunset blend. So hopefully people can appreciate the consistency and the quality and the work that goes into producing these two blends. So, yeah, I think that's a good one to start with. It blew my mind.
Yeah,
blew my mind.
Yeah.
I was like, what? Like, how is that even? But the power of marketing.
Yeah.
People want more variety. People want to feel special. Like, oh, I'm getting this one rare, these horn red leaves from Bali and all. It's like, well, yeah, you're not.
Yeah.
So
It doesn't matter. Like,
and even if you do,
test it and show me what the alkaloid profile looks like.
The test is also going to show it's about the
yeah.
same anyway.
Yeah.
So
That's the important part. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a good one. Boom. Knocked mine out. Your turn next. Next week. Next week.
Yes.
Speaking of you guys blending them and pressing them into tablets for sunrise and sunset, we wanted to talk about you guys discovering in your process to turning the powder kratom that you guys were taking into now pressed tablets.
Oh, yeah.
And
I don't know, is this a little bit secret sauce, though? We're revealing a little secret sauce on what we do?
You keep the secret sauce secret, but...
Actually, no, honestly, it's no... I think our approach is we aren't trying to do anything secret. We are doing practices that should be done across the board. Anyone selling kratom or any botanical should be following these procedures, knowing where you're getting your stuff from, making sure they're consistent, testing the hell out of them so you have the right information, and then providing it in a form factor in a way that a consumer likes. That's 101 of business.
That's what I want as a consumer.
Exactly.
And that's what we found, right? It's like we're not getting what we want as a consumer, so
do it ourselves.
Create a company that provides those benefits.
Yeah. So what's the process? How do we?
Yeah. So I mean, the secret sauce of creating tablets is, anyone can go out and research how tablets are made. And so basically, in the general pharmaceutical industry, if we're talking about kind of the normal tablets that people would stereotypically purchase as like a Tylenol or ibuprofen, the little hard tablets that are just super compact, they are made starting with a filler material, which is basically super refined wood fibers. They take trees, extract out the wood fibers, purify it, grind it to a super fine wood fiber powder. And basically what it is just cellulose fiber, which are kind of like big, long tubes of organic material. And basically when that gets compacted, those tubes kind of crush in on themselves and kind of bind with each other and just create a tablet. So the cool thing is that because we're starting with a plant of kratom that is a very fibrous plant, well, we're kind of just starting with that natural material already. So instead of having to go get an ultra refined product and add some, chemical or alkaloid to it, such as the pharmaceutical industry does, we just take the natural plant material that has all of those natural ingredients already in it, grind it up to a super fine powder, and then just press it with a really firm pressure. And that's it. So it's super straightforward, all natural, 100% kratom in a tablet form. It's just a botanical and a nice, easy to measure, known weight and consistency.
Yeah, the interesting part for me, so learning all that from you was interesting, but lately is affecting the grind size was a way for us to not have to use, different chemicals for increasing flow, right? So you can take kratom.
That's kind of the secret sauce. So yeah.
Yeah. So
that stuff should be edited out.
That is it? Shoot. Yeah. Darn it. All right, Ab, edit what I just said, okay? Damn it. All right. Fuck. Okay, moving on. And take two. I want to talk about, so I don't know what section we're at right now, but I want to talk about this this dream I had, actually, that I know this is more kind of...
So what's new with Victor? Okay,
I guess, sorry, man.
Like, dream. All right, sweet.
I wanted to tell you guys this morning, but I didn't
right.
tell you. We'll put it on tape, and then, if it's not interesting, then we'll edit it. So.
Yeah, all right. I like this. All right. Is it like a reoccurring dream? Is this something?
No. So for those that don't already know, I have a sociology, psychology background, and people used to come to me all the time with kind of get free counseling. And one of the things that they like to talk about is their dreams. And so I spent a good amount of time helping people interpret their dreams. And every so often I'll interpret my own dreams to see what it all means. At least what I think it all can possibly mean. I'm not an expert by any stretch. But anyway, I had a dream. So we were talking about supply chain of kratom, and when we were starting off, it was very difficult to kind of find a reliable source. So find people that can kind of help us out, and anyway.
So why is this dream so vivid or different? Like what?
Yeah, so I saw you grab some stuff. I forgot what I took actually. Yeah, I think Alpha Brain. That's right. Yeah, on it provides a thing called Alpha Brain, and it one of the side effects, or I don't know, one of the effects is it can produce lucid dreaming.
Yeah. So we take mushroom-based dietary supplements, and so there's a lot of research coming out that mushrooms are amazing supplements for supporting memory, for supporting cordyceps support blood flow for athletics. We have reishi mushrooms that help with kind of just general nerve health, and then lion's mane is something that helps with neuroregeneration. So as we all get older, cognitive disorders like dementia will eventually come up, and so these dietary supplements are showing a lot of promise to kind of help with all of these issues. So it's part of this natural medicine that we're exploring and getting into. Is mushrooms are going to be a big part. And the cool part is these are just culinary mushrooms that people typically use in their dishes for flavor, and it's finding out that there's some really great benefits to it for your physiology.
I think cordyceps gives I have like an earthy kind of taste to it.
Yeah, it's a good
So sprinkling it in, I'm gonna sound super Asian right now, but it's my
Alpha
ramen.
Brain. Alpha Brain is one of these supplements that combines a lot of different mushroom varieties for just overall mental health. And part of one of the effects is you may experience lucid dreams, and so that happened, right? So you had like a very vivid dream.
Yeah. So one of the farmers that we were working with, they gave us. They're really attentive. They were responsive, and then they were also, they gave us samples, and those samples were, really great samples.
Great, yeah.
They tested well, so we ended up
good
buying
alkaloid profiles. Like we used them personally and found some great relief with them. So it was awesome.
Yeah,
and it was like great.
So that's what we put an order in, came in here, and then we tested the production batch, and
it was
nowhere near the same.
Different. Shocker, huh? Yeah.
So
vendor gives out a great sample. We do the testing. Perfect. Let's put in a big order, and we get it, and now it's
not the same.
Yeah. I mean, it was still kratom. There was no adulterants. There was no lead. There was no heavy metals. It tested safe, but it didn't test to the same level of quality. And so
So be careful whenever, to anyone out there, if you're not buying kratom or any botanical from Etha, wherever you buy it from, make sure that when they're testing, a lot of places will say they're testing, but truly are they providing, current testing on the product that you're buying? Because it's easy to run a test on a sample or one batch and then sell a bunch of other stuff. So, and we experienced it. It's not going to be the same, even if it's from the same vendor. You're going to get variation. So you need to continually test and provide those results to your customers. And that's what Etha does. So anyway, I felt super betrayed that day. It was just bothering me because we put so much, Kendra and I put so much time to build relationships with people, and I just felt I was upset and angry. The CEO of the company, his name kept on coming in my head. Like, I can't believe he did this. Took it very personal, and then I took Alpha Brain.
So you went to bed with this kind of.
I just right. And I was shooting him messages on WhatsApp, 2 a.m, time difference and so forth, and then that's when I fell asleep, and I had this ridiculously vivid nightmare of being chased by demons and monsters and me leaping from buildings, which is awesome. That part was kind of cool, being able to have superhuman powers. But anyway, and just can't get away. No matter what I did, could not get away. And if anyone that analyzes dreams, that typically is associated with betrayal. So I felt very much betrayed by him, and my psyche was giving me this vision. Just ruined my I was hoping to have a lucid fantasy, like a positive experience, and instead it was just I woke up sweating and
Man,
so
the day humans figure out how to control dreams,
yeah,
no one's gonna wake up screw this. I'm just gonna go to sleep and dream. I'll get to do whatever I want. Yeah,
it's all Inception now.
They'll be humans will lose a few decades of productivity when that happens, when we figure out how to control dreams.
Yeah. So anyway, that's the dream I had, and just wanted to share with you guys. So now when you're being chased by some sort of monster, think about your day, think about your recent memories.
Yeah,
are you being betrayed?
Like a different significance to them if you analyze them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, by the way, if anyone wants to know, everyone knows we have Kendra always in the room with us, but we also have Kelsey, who is in the room with us today, and she is our writer. And if you see anything in copy text form, it's probably by
That's right.
by Kelsey. So she's here to offer some perspective, and so she's awesome. So anyway, that was my little totally off the script, but I had to talk about it.
Right,
Just
next time I have a vivid dream, I'm going to come in and you can psychoanalyze it.
Let's do it
live.
Yeah. I still have some alpha brain, so you can you can try some.
Yes.
Anyway, what's next?
So
Are we done? Can we go?
Last week we talked about the different forms of kratom and comparison. You
Mhm.
guys did the kratom challenge of powder versus
Yeah, I got
tablet.
annihilated in that challenge.
You sure
Yeah.
did.
Yeah. Oh my God! By the way, I was for a good hour or two afterwards, I couldn't breathe right. Sucked. So I'm so spoiled with ether tablets. Ridiculously spoiled now. Anyway.
So we wanted to show the difference in mass for everybody to see. We could insert a picture of the test tubes as well, but we wanted to show it on camera.
Yeah.
The
All right.
differences.
So people, they go, you can get capsules for your kratom. Yeah, you can do all that, but the volume difference is staggering.
So here we have this is 2.5 grams of dried kratom leaf. Pretty coarse ground, so it doesn't really compact too much. There's quite a bit of air in there.
Mm-hmm. Let me do it for you. I'll be your Vanna White.
Now, if we grind powder, we can knock down the volume by quite a bit, or at least we can get all the air out of there. So still 2.5 grams, much less. But yeah, that was kind of disgusting last week.
Through that.
And as you can imagine, because capsules that most people like to fill, they're not always filled total volume. You're just kind of taking this powder and now distributing it in a bunch of smaller containers, so not really too much smaller.
Yeah, and this is 2.5 grams, guys.
All 2.5 grams.
All the same.
And because we use a tableting press that applies somewhere around 5 tons of pressure, upwards of that, so it's really compacts the fibers, makes it minimal for sure. It takes the volume down from powder to about 1/3 the volume. It's nice, dense, solid tablet.
Yeah.
So that's just kind of not to mention, just you can kind of see there's no residual powder floating around. If I kind of open up those test tubes and shake it around, blow it, there's not going to get dust everywhere and kind of just be a nuisance.
Nice and clean still.
Yeah.
Nope.
It's pretty amazing. Just
ta-da! Which one would you take?
Right.
Exactly. Toys. Yeah.
At least he didn't
it's the clear
lick it.
choice. Finally, something small is actually better than something big. Anyway.
I don't know what you're talking about.
All right. Anything else we need to cover?
I think that's it for tablets. If there's anything else you guys want to share.
I mean, shoot, we can talk for ever and ever about all this stuff, but anything else? Anything in the news we should address? Current events? Anything?
Current events, I guess.
What's in the news?
Kelsey has done some research and saw that Facebook's trustworthy sources are now determined by people voting on trustworthy sources, and that's how they're trying to dictate their top sources that they are.
Oh, okay, so Facebook has gotten in some backlash from our election, essentially, right? Presidential election, with a lot of confirmations that we have outside countries influencing political affairs through kind of very
allegedly.
Some of that was confirmed for sure.
All right,
Russian,
confirmed.
but yeah, right. So we got that issue, and so it's kind of their response of they should be doing more to not promote clearly biased and fake made up news. Mm-hmm. So I mean they've been trying to like stay away from this, claiming to be just a publisher and not an actual content. They don't create the content, but yet they're adding problems to the world, and so they need to have some responsibility. I mean they're happy to take in billions of dollars of money, and so they're going to try and not do anything, is what it sounds like. I mean, it's like, how are you? I mean, users, we're a user, and we have a self-biased filter we set up, because I only have certain friends. Of course. Oh, I don't. Oh, yeah, that article that makes me angry, like I unlike that source, and so now all I find are other confirmations of my bias, and so they're going to rely on people with bias to
continue. Yeah, you're exacerbating the problem.
Yes, like that's their solution, is to not do anything and not actually solve any kind of solution. Great.
Yeah. What's
way to not do anything, Facebook.
Yeah. What's even further just upsetting is just hearing about even ex-executives from Facebook now coming out and talking about folks that were part of the team that made Facebook, and other social media providers. Just hearing how they feel they're riddled with guilt from what they've created. But as I'm listening to them, I get upset. But then I'm like, you also didn't donate all that money. You can fight the cause in different ways besides just doing a TED Talk. But it's a sad state that we're in when it comes to social media and how we get our news now.
Yep.
Yeah. We're talking about what you're looking up the.
Why is it a sad state?
Oh, we were just talking about that already. So.
Is it a lot? Oh.
Like confirmation bias and not being able to have it's hard to find real news or unbiased information, and you're being filtered. You are personally filtering your own information that you're getting and all that kind of stuff. So it's very difficult to know what's real, right? So because 100 people that said they really liked this story, now this becomes
a
credible source.
Yeah.
So how's that even? That just makes no sense, It's I don't know,
so everything on Fox News, pretty much, according to what Facebook uses, would just be all BS. You know what I'm saying?
Or vice versa. It could be.
I feel like a lot of Facebook users, a lot of people are liberal, right? They are younger, but use Facebook, or I guess not necessarily.
No, So it doesn't matter, because it's your own personal view into the world.
So totally credible source.
Yeah. As long as as long enough people find it popular or like it.
It's just it's so annoying. I would love to see
because then that's it's counter.
What are genius coming with that idea?
It's entertainment is the most popular thing. Things that amuse us.
Users are so credible. Facebook users are so trustworthy.
It's us,
kids using their moms log in.
And the unfortunate part is that humans have technology to actually provide value on these sources, right? Mm-hmm. There is IBM with Watson and their deep learning algorithms so Watson, when Watson was programmed to perform on a Jeopardy episode, part of that whole setup of how they determined those answers. First, there was kind of the recognition of the speech, understanding what the actual answer is on Jeopardy and how to formulate the question is part of it. But then what Watson would do would go search all of the interwebs to find any kind of related topic to that answer, and then it would rank credibility of those sources to then come down to a probability of this is most likely the correct answer based on all of these sources that have a certain credibility ranking, because obviously there's anything and everything out on the internet. And so if IBM could do that with Watson, how many years ago now did they go out and beat every Jeopardy champion without any effort, it seems? And yet we have this technology, and yet something like Facebook won't employ it. Why?
They haven't figured out a way to monetize it yet. So,
yeah, that's right. Yeah,
and they can. It wouldn't be too hard to figure out. We are the provider of real information, or at least as real as we can possibly get with the, vast amount of information that's out there. This super amazing, intelligent thing can.
I don't know. I mean, humans will get there eventually, right? Hopefully we'll progress. It'll take us a while because there are companies that have a lot of money that like to keep making that money, so they're maybe hesitant to make drastic changes. But
of course,
I think I don't know. I'm hopeful that us, the people, will take back our voting rights, and we'll kind of start standing up and continue to make this world what it should be.
Yeah. Don't wait for others to
Don't wait for companies to do it.
No.
We have to be doing it.
Yeah.
So.
Everybody needs to make the reality that you want happen.
Call your congressman. I know it seems
kind of ridiculous, but yeah, it works. It actually works. Yeah. Call them. The more you do,
it takes a while, but
sign petitions.
Do it.
Join the. For example, we're part of the American Kratom Association. We're active members there because, obviously we're incentivized at this point. But even before that, we knew that that's a worthy cause, and they're doing a good thing. So support them. So. All right, is that good?
Yeah.
Did we knock out this episode?
That's great.
Kelsey wanted us to keep it shorter. I think we cut the time in half.
Yeah, how about the government shutdown?
We have not talked about government shutdown.
Feel the need to.
I don't know. It's just more like bagging
just
on.
More typical. Do nothing. Congress has been doing that for the last I don't know.
It always
years
happens,
now.
Yeah.
It's like
the interesting part for me is they're waiting when these kind of actions happen. Whatever party makes the declaration and walks away. Both sides are hoping to get the overall impression that the other side is the cause of this shutdown, and that becomes
Why is that important though? Why does that matter? You know what I'm saying? Directly, that's the important part of it.
Yeah, it's not.
It doesn't matter whose fault it is. It just matters that it gets resolved. You know what I'm saying? It's they're just focusing on the wrong part of it.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's always interesting to see the response from it. How are people actually reacting to this shutdown?
And they're all getting paid, but air traffic controllers aren't. You know what I'm saying? They're necessary.
Important,
necessary, but they're not getting paid. But of course, the senators, they just take their merry time because as long as they're getting paid, that's all that matters.
I think I'm still one of my favorite quotes, kind of on all these topics. When we talk about politics, favorite quote, I believe it's from Mark Twain. Samuel Clemens would be, politics is like Hollywood for ugly people.
Yeah, it really is. It's a popularity contest.
It's a popularity contest. It's kind of stuff really doesn't matter. They talk a lot of stuff, but it's not actually things that matter in this world. But you can kind of get, same thing, you can get sucked into celebrities and what they're doing in their lives and all that stuff, and it's who cares? Same thing with the politics seems to be that same kind of thing, that it's important, you have to call your Congress and all that kind of stuff, but the day-to-day politics and kind of following those stories seems much more like a celebrity news scandal than actual information and things that need to go on. It's
what are the decisions they're trying to make? That's what are the policies they're actually trying to push for? What's the agenda that's happening? Those are the important pieces, but it's not sensational. It's not
the day-to-day sensational.
I want to know if this person is eyeballing high schoolers. So that's interesting. So anyway, it's not going to stop, but we can do our part and voice our opinion. Let our Congress people know that we don't stand for this kind of stuff. No more walking out. No more shutting down. Do your job, damn it. So, all right. So a little bit of a downer note, but hopefully that gets everyone to rally and do some good stuff. So, all right, guys. I think that's it, huh? As always,
subscribe below.
Yeah. I know we bagged on Facebook and all that, but follow us on Facebook. on Instagram and all that stuff. It's a necessary evil, guys. Sorry. So do it. And as always, live fully.